Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it right here. My name is Eric Lorda, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We had a great show for you today, and if you want to call in, 570-530-8316. Let's get it started. No real action this weekend, but there's action tonight. What time does that card start? About 9? The main event starts.
Main card, I think starts at 9.
Yeah, main card starts at 9. So you guys will be out of here in plenty of time.
Yeah.
From Paramount Plus, Las Vegas tonight at 9. Jai Opetaia versus Brandon Glanton. 12 rounds, cruiserweights for the inaugural Zuffa belt. Jai Opetaia is the IBF champion. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes, but let's break down this fight first, Beeb. We got Jai Opetaia versus Brandon Glanton, and then the co-main is Ricardo Salas versus Jesus Sriracha. Beeb, you made an interesting point about this card just before we came on the air.
In the main card, the 4 fights on the main card, everybody is undefeated except for Brandon Glanton. And Brandon Glanton only has 2 losses, and he's coming off a big
3. He's got 3, I believe.
Does he have 3?
Yeah.
I thought he had 2.
He lost 2 in a row, and he lost 1.
Okay, thank you.
Chris Billam-Smith.
Yeah, and he had a great performance against Chris Billam-Smith. I thought he won about 3 or 4 rounds in that fight. I think you could argue he may have won 4 rounds in that fight, if I'm not mistaken. I thought it was a competitive fight, right? And Marcus Brown, he just beat him. Marcus Brown's a good fighter. That was a mild upset. And he has a very fan-friendly style. He likes to fight in a phone booth, nonstop puncher, heavy-handed. If he hits you clean, he can get you out of there. He can get your attention. So, yeah, he's a good fighter, man. I think he's a good fighter. And Jai is a very good fighter as well, another big puncher. These guys are both big punchers, both very aggressive fighters. Jai is kind of like a seek and destroy, a little bit more intelligent with his pressure, a little bit more cerebral. He's changes levels a little bit. He's got a tricky jab, throws it off speed a little bit, moves it around. So I think this is a very intriguing matchup. I know people are saying, oh, well, they're having the number 15 guy. Okay, but I mean, we've seen these
somebody until you fight somebody. You know?
we've seen guys win vacant titles. Like who did Raleigh fight to get his WBA title? You know what I mean? And how many of these guys are picking up these sanctioning body titles? You know,
well, and look at the top rankings in those divisions, like the IBF rankings or something like that. These
guys are like email champions, a lot of them. So again, I understand. You know, you're having the best fighter universally recognized in the world at cruiserweight fighting the number 15 guy, but who else is there right now that wants to fight him?
That's
right?
the thing, man. Yeah,
that's like David Benavidez is already saying, well, if he wins, he's with Zuffa. They're already starting the other side of the street bullshit. So again, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah,
you know?
I
mean, who did David Benavidez win to get his light heavyweight title? Right. I mean, would he fight Vosdick?
Yeah.
I mean, after he beat Vosdick, they elevated him to full champion because Bivol wasn't ready to fight him, so they stripped Bivol and they elevate David Benavidez. And I like David Benavidez, but again,
I love him.
We the sanctioning bodies have done worse things than having a top number 1 fight number 15.
For sure.
We've seen worse.
You know, Glanton's lost, like I said, man, Glanton's lost a couple of fights, but he's 21 with 21 wins, 18 knockouts. He's never been knocked out.
No.
You know? So, hey, man, this is a good fight. This is a decent fight. I mean, we're all gonna go watch it. So
it should be an entertaining fight. I think these 4 fights should be fun to watch. I think they'll be entertaining. And
you said everybody on the card is undefeated, with the exception of Glanton in the main event, right?
The main card, yeah. So
it's
these
interesting.
These are tight matchups on paper. These are tight matchups. This isn't a minus 1,000 fighting a plus 650 here. Okay?
You know what? Yeah, and you know what's nuts, and you made a good point too before we came on. You said there's really tight matchmaking over there. If you watch the other shows, they weren't bad.
Yeah,
And
they were
even
all
though you didn't know
competitive
it, they were
fights.
all like toss-up type fights. They were
Yeah,
all, they were good fights, man. They were
yeah,
definitely entertaining. So the matchmakers over there seem to know what they're doing so far.
that's right.
So I don't mind it. I don't mind
We've
it.
seen a few upsets too. Like obviously, someone's got to be favored in the matchup, but we've seen a couple guys who were slight underdogs pull off the upset on these
Well, yeah,
cards.
and yeah, exactly. A couple of guys who should have won didn't. You know what I mean?
Vozick was winning every round, and then he just gets knocked out, right? So
That's how it goes down sometimes, man. JC says, what are the thoughts on the 4th of July card or the June 15th White House card? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it later on because we got it. The Fight Doctor says Opetaia is trash. Benavidez is going to dog walk him. That may be, but he's got to fight Benavidez first. And tonight,
got to do it. I like David Benavidez. Don't get me wrong.
David Benavidez.
But there's always every time he's been in a division, he's never really unified the belts. He's never gotten the big fight. In other words,
No, that's not all on him.
Not all on him, but
Not
like I
on him.
think I'm a little disappointed that he went up to cruiserweight so fast after spending such a short time at light heavyweight. I know you have your reasoning for it. You think the other two guys weren't ready, but I don't know. We'll see. Like Bivol's coming back, so he's already saying he wants to go back down to 175 and fight Bivol and Beterbiev. I hope he does because he didn't get the big fight at 168 and he didn't unify there and he didn't unify at 175. And we'll see what he does at cruiserweight, or we'll see if he beats Ramirez and goes right back down to light heavyweight, or we'll see if he decides to fight Jai Opetaia or one of the other champions. We'll see. But
Fight Doctor says Opetaia is trash. Listen, man, I don't agree with that. I like Jai Opetaia. I think he's a great fighter. But I do agree with Fight Doctor. Benavidez is going to walk him if they fight.
I mean, a lot of people would. I don't know. Some people. It's kind of a 50-50, Eric, from people I talk to. I'm talking to people that think that Opetaia will win, and then there's some people. I want to see David Benavidez versus Zurdo Ramirez first. I want to see him at 200 pounds first.
Smashing Zurdo.
See if he maintains. Now I'm going to favor him against Zurdo, but I just want to see if he loses any speed or if he's sluggish at all at 200 pounds. I want to see.
Yeah, I think Benavidez by massacre.
Yeah. Depending upon how Benavidez looks against Ramirez, because Ramirez is a good fighter too. Like he had a good decisive win over Chris Smith. Was very impressive, right? So we'll see how David Benavidez looks against Ramirez. I think that I want to at least wait for that fight before I make a determination on how this fight with Opetaia's potential fight with Opetaia would go.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the IBF belt drama. This is interesting because you heard me say it's for the Zuffa belt. As far as for the IBF belt, not so much anymore. They had the IBF belt. If you look on the posters, it's on the posters, it's on all the graphics and everything like that. So they clearly thought the IBF was going to be in there. And then we found out just recently, just like literally yesterday, that the title wasn't going to be on the line. The sanctioning fee was paid. The IBF representative came in, took per diem money, right? Hotel accommodations and everything, and then apparently
had a food stipend.
Just left. Yeah, he had a food stipend.
Yeah. He had coupons to go to Publix and get food. He could have done anything he wanted.
He could have made sandwiches from Publix, the peanut butter, He had money
for the bar.
He had bar tickets.
Right?
The IBF stated that you can fight for the IBF or the Zuffa belt, but not both. The ring belt, by the way, is also on the line here. Why isn't that an issue? The Zuffa belt isn't a sanctioned belt. It's like the ring belt. So what's the issue?
IBO, it's like the IBO, the WBF, the IBC.
WBU,
Have you heard the stories and have you heard the whole? You want me to?
Let's dive in. Let's dive in.
So it was announced on February 10th that this fight would be contested for the inaugural Zuffa belt.
Yeah. And
according to Rick Reno, because he did an article and I read it very thoroughly, and he kind of gave a timeline. On February 11th, Jai Opetaia reached out to the IBF and had a conversation with them and let them know that he wanted to fight. He wanted to defend his IBF title, and he asked them if would it be okay if I fight for both titles, and apparently they said yes at that time, right? So lo and behold, up until Saturday, everyone thought, despite the rumors, that the IBF was already gave the go-ahead for this fight to be contested for the IBF title, right? And then really conspicuously after the press conference, that's when they decided to make the decision to not sanction the bout, to rescind the sanction that they already had agreed to on February 11th. Now, Dan Rafael had said this, and I heard other people say this. Something about that press conference the IBF did not like. They felt as though the IBF belt was being looked at and presented as less than the Zuffa belt. They felt that they were disrespected. I believe Dan Rafael was saying
Zuffa's organization.
Yeah, I believe Dan Rafael was saying they felt that they were disrespecting the IBF belt and putting the Zuffa belt above it, which I don't know if they were. I mean, they had both belts on the
company
table.
On the back, the company on the company on the thing is called Zuffa. So the company you're seeing on TV is Zuffa. So
my position is you already sanctioned the bout, right? And the relationship you have is with the fighter. You don't have a relationship with promoters. No. Sanctioning bodies are non-profit organizations, okay? They're not supposed to have, obviously they work with promoters in terms of, they're part of the show or whatever, and the promoters can arrange to get them accommodations for their, the representatives that come from the organization. They give them the stipend money or the per diem money or put them up in the hotels, whatever. You deal with that. But you deal with the fighter. The fighter represents your organization. Now, you could say, Dana White's been saying a lot of negative things about the sanctioning bodies. Okay, that's fine. I'm not saying that's a positive thing. But either way, you have the relationship with the fighter. If the fighter fights the mandatory, which Jai Opetaia just most recently did, if he agrees that the sanctioning fee is going to get paid and he wants to fight for your title or defend your title, and he authorizes the sanctioning fee to be paid, then that's what you should worry about. You should, regardless of what a promoter says about you or someone in the promotional company says about you, is irrelevant. You deal with the fighter. The fighter represents you. Meanwhile, you got Tank Davis out there on the run, and the WBA has no problem leaving the belt on him. This guy's been battering fucking people left and right, and he's got charges on him every other week, and he hasn't had a mandatory in like 3 years, right? And he hasn't fought in a year and a half. Probably going to be going on 2 years. But you'll leave the belt on him, but because you don't like where your belt is positioned on the table at the press conference, you're going to get mad and you're going to just. Here's the thing.
They didn't have a problem taking that sanctioning fee, though, did they?
Yeah, and they took the sanctioning fee.
Was it 80 grand?
Yeah, 80 grand.
Sanctioning fee, and they took it.
So think about that. Just think about that. So if it's 3% of the purse, right? So they say. So let's just speak hypothetical. That's like almost $2.7 million in purse money. So let's just say Jai's getting 60% of that. Jai's getting, like, I'm guessing, and I could be wrong here, but if I do the math and I do the 3% and I kind of do a 60-40 split here, Jai's getting like $1.7 million for this fight with or without the belt. It's a nice little payday for Jai, $1.7 million, right? It's good payday for a cruiserweight fight. But, again, Jai Opetaia is the champion in the transnational board rankings. He's the champion in Ring Magazine. He's the champion in BoxRec. This guy is whether you think he's a good fighter or whether you think he deserves it or not, he is universally recognized as the champion. And my point has always been, whenever a sanctioning body takes the belt off of the best fighter in the division, or arguably, like in Shakur Stevenson's case, arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, or damn near close to it, when you take the belt off of those guys and you put it on someone who's not the best, all you're doing is making your organization lose credibility. Now you guys want to sit there and say I'm fucking caping for Zuffa. I'm just speaking objectively here, right? These sanctioning bodies are supposed to do, because they're nonprofits, they're supposed to do what's best for the sport of boxing. They're not there to make a profit. They're not there to worry about their feelings getting hurt. What's best for boxing is the best possible fighter representing your organization and holding your title. And when you take that away from a Terrence Crawford, now again, Terrence Crawford was going to retire probably, or he's going to go down and wait. But just the optics of stripping him, just let him vacate it. You know what I mean? Like, you're taking it away from him, right? It's just a bad look, because you're telling the fighter that your belt and your organization is bigger than them. And that's not how it should be. When Marvin Hagler fought Sugar Ray Leonard, Hagler was the undisputed champion. But the IBF and the WBA stripped him because he was fighting Sugar Ray Leonard and he didn't fight the number one contender. Did anyone give a fuck that he got stripped and he was only defending the WBC title? When Larry Holmes decided, I'm not going to defend against Greg Page, and the WBC stripped him, and then he created the IBF and he became the IBF champion, did anyone care? So this is cyclical. Right now we're going through a phase. Like, Terrence Crawford became undisputed in 2017. Before that, we didn't have an undisputed champion. The last undisputed champion was Jermaine Taylor in 2005 when he beat Hopkins. So we had a 12-year drought without undisputed. So this is cyclical. You know, the belts matter, and then sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. But if they keep going the way they're going, these sanctioning bodies, it's going to go around the bend and it's going to go the other way on them. And the belts are going to matter even less. Because if you ask a fighter, what's more important, the money or the belt? 9 out of 10 times, or probably even 10 out of 10 times, they're going to take the money, right? So once these guys get big enough and you start fucking them on the way up, they're going to start shitting on you when you're underneath them, right? So you want to say, oh, we gave Terrence Crawford this, that, and the third. Terrence Crawford didn't win his first WBC title until 2014. He turned pro, like he turned pro in 2008. He's only held the WBC title for 4 years in his career, and the other 11 years as champion. He was champion for like 15 or so years in his career. He's a champion for a long time. Yeah. And of that time, he was only a WBC champion for like 4 years. So again, like, Anthony Joshua never held a WBC belt. So you have competition, these sanctioning bodies. You got 4 titles. So if the IBF wants to fuck with Jai Opetaia, he could just fight for the WBC, or he could just fight for the WA. And after a while, again, maybe the fighters, like, they'll just say these belts don't even matter anymore, and they'll just only care. They'll pick and choose what belt they want to fight for. Maybe in time, because think about it, the WBO came out in 1988. It wasn't fully accepted and recognized by the rest of the sanctioning bodies until 2007. Yeah. It's a long time.
It's a long time.
So who knows what's going to happen with this Zuffa belt down the line? Who really knows? I'm not saying it's going to be the creme de la creme belt. I don't know. But these sanctioning bodies got to be very careful right now, is what I'm saying. That's all.
Yeah, I agree. Junior Spock says, is anyone else having issues with the Zuffa stream on Paramount? Yes, a lot of people did. Last night for the UFC event, I think I ended up switching it to the Spanish channel or whatever, and it was fine. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people, there's been a lot of chatter about that from last night to
on
now.
The Paramount Plus app.
Yeah.
I noticed a few times.
It just went dead.
The screen went blue.
Yep.
And it went back on, but it went back on quick, but it did go blue a few times. I noticed that.
Yeah, this one just cut out. And
it did?
We were sitting there for a few minutes. It was during the fight, so I switched it over to the Spanish side, and it was fine there. So
that didn't happen to me last night, but some people did complain. You're right.
Yeah. This is, I forgot about the Crawford issue. Yeah, that's right. This is just twice in a couple of weeks that the sanctioning bodies have shot themselves in the foot. First was the WBC charging $100K to Shakur to not defend his title. And then it was the IBF sanctioning a fight, then withdraw. I think that's the worst part of this whole thing, is that they paid for this. They paid the sanctioning fee. They paid $80,000. The guy flew out. And if they knew this back then, the guy flew out right? They gave him his per diem money and did what they were supposed to do. He said he got the money, he hopped on a plane, and he went back home. And why would you collect
did the
that?
second day weigh-in today too.
Yeah, why would you? I don't understand. Yeah, they said they were going to go through with everything, all the IBF rules. They said they were going to go through with the second day weigh-in and everything like that.
Yeah.
I don't understand why a company would do that. Why would they charge you
being
this money?
Petty.
Take the money.
Petty. Something they felt they didn't like the way they were being represented at that press conference for whatever
and again,
reason.
the ring belt is on the line. It just is. And you know what? They asked Dana about this yesterday, Dana White. I think Dana White said it best. He talked about doing business with the sanctioning bodies. He said, they're going to do all the work for us. He said, and he's right. And he's right. These annex to organizations, it's starting to sour with fans. It's starting to sour with fighters, that are fighting for this stuff. They got to pay you, they got to pay you some kind of sanctioning fee to get this belt. And it doesn't, number one, it doesn't make any sense because, number one, you're charging way too much for these sanctioning fees. They should be nowhere near what they're charging to charge them at all. Nobody wants to see it because it's not right, man. Not making mandatories. Sometimes making mandatories, rankings make no sense to top it off. Look at, go and look, at the top 15 of any division for the WBC and in the IBF, there's guys on there you've never heard of in your life, and that's the thing. And then, was it Jake Paul? No, I don't remember who it was, but some of the sanctions that they do, the fights that they do sanction are crazy. It really is, man.
Again, I don't have a problem. I mean, obviously, like I said, I'm not jumping up and down for joy for Usyk's opponent, but I don't think the WBC
and the WBC sanctioned that nonsense.
I don't think the WBC should sanction that fight. That's just my opinion.
And for those of you who don't know,
I'm not mad at Usyk for it.
Alexander Usyk is going to face some kickboxer that Rico Verhoeven or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be this real dynamic kickboxer. Again, he's going to get smashed because, again, why? You're in a different sport. It just is. It's a different sport. So the WBC actually sanctioned this nonsense. Instead of labeling an exhibition, they actually sanctioned. They're going to make a belt for it. How stupid is that? How could you possibly sanction this?
And I watched we talked about this. I think I text you this. The interview that Andre Ward had with Lisa McClellan, Gerald McClellan's sister. Yes. And she said she talked to Mauricio and he gave them a little money, but this guy's they're out there doing GoFundMe. They're doing all types of
and this is what he still claims. He still claims that all the money is going to retired boxers and everything. Let me tell you where the money's going. In his pocket. That's where it's going.
Yeah. Am I saying none of it goes to the fighters? But the amount that goes to the fighters is nearly not what should be going to the fighters, in my opinion. I mean,
100%.
I work for the city. I'm getting a much larger pension than these guys are getting. They're getting like a couple $100 here and there. That's not enough money.
When did he establish this whole thing? He established this years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah.
And no fighters out of all this, they're still not seeing any money from it. You know why? Because private jets cost money. Big hotels, renting, a hotel, a whole floor in a hotel, that all costs money.
And shout out to her because she's helping out like Lisa McClellan. She's helping out Wilfredo Benavidez. She's helping out Wilfredo Gomez. She's helping out a lot of these fighters, and she's doing a lot of fundraising events. She's doing, a lot of people she's reaching out to help. And if the sanctioning bodies were so good and generous to these retired fighters, then she wouldn't have to be doing all this extra stuff, right?
Yeah.
So again, when she says, these fighters go to these events and they speak and they're there to kind of help promote the event and they're there to take pictures with fans. And these fighters that, they're in rough shape, she was saying, and these fighters don't get any money. They don't get paid to show up. They're just there. They're helping the event. They're helping there to promote. He's laughing because I'm a city employee. They're there. And They're getting nothing.
They don't even pay him like an appearance fee or anything?
No, that's what she was saying during the interview. So again, I'm not saying they don't do anything. They don't do for what they're receiving and what they're giving back.
Yeah.
It's not an even exchange. Let's just put it that way.
No,
They could be doing
for
a lot
sure.
more. They could be doing a lot.
Sure.
Like Beef Industries, we do a lot for a lot of people.
We do a lot.
These guys do nothing.
No, we do way more. We do way more.
Handing out turkeys. I'm giving, doing what I got to do.
Absolutely.
Helping these people get housing in this city. That's what I do. That's what I do.
Helping these people get housing.
Doing everything here.
You're an idiot.
I put people on work programs. This is what I do. What I do. Robbie showed up to work one day and everything was in cardboard box and it was mailed to his house. I gave him the call the next day. I told him it was going to be all right. That's what I do. I pull people out of the darkness and into the light. That's what I do. We're all here for a purpose. All right,
guys, if you like what we're doing, hit the like button, like and subscribe. It helps us out, man. Leave a comments on the video. All of it adds up. All of it helps us out, man. So smash the like button if you like what we're doing here. All right. So that fight's going to be tonight. And that was it for this weekend's action, man. Nothing. There was no real big fights this weekend. We'll talk about this fight probably next week or during the week. We'll talk about it sometime.
We'll have to recap it next week.
That's right. That's right. All right. So let's go to the schedule. Let's see what's going on here. All right. March 14th, Anaheim, California on DAZN. Arnold Barboza versus Kenneth Sims Jr. 12 rounds welterweights. Oscar Collazo versus Jesus Aro. 12 rounds for Collazo's WBO and WBO strawweight titles. That's a misprint. Gabriela Fundora. There's a chick fight after that. Let's see. Gabriela Fundora versus Viviana Corredor. 10 rounds for Fundora's undisputed women's flyweight championship. Also, March 14th, Ireland on DAZN. James Dickens versus Anthony Kakache. 12 rounds junior lightweights. That's not a bad fight. Not a bad fight. Not a bad fight. Let's see here. What else we got? That's it. That's it for next week. What's coming up here? When's that Thurman fight? 28th. March 28th. Yeah. Fundora versus Keith Thurman. For Fundora's, that's an interesting fight.
Are you interested in that?
It is an interesting fight, man, because Keith Thurman did pretty well last time he fought. Who did he fight last time?
Brock Jarvis.
He did look pretty good, though. You got to admit. I thought Brock Jarvis was going to be good, but he did look pretty good.
You like Keith?
Keith Thurman. Keith.
I don't know, man. I don't know about Keith.
Let me tell you, the undercard, though, that Frank Sanchez-Richard Torres fight, I want to see that.
I like that fight.
I love that fight.
I like that fight. I was telling someone the other day I like that fight, and they were like they weren't too high on it, but I think that fight's interesting. Yeah, Keith Thurman's 37 years old, man. I don't know, man.
He shouldn't win. Fundora should win pretty easy, right?
I think Fundora's going to win, yeah.
Yeah, he should win pretty easy.
Yeah.
But you just don't know. You just don't know, man. Yeah, Kevin's Ghost says ESPN is now in all chick cards with MVP. How about that? You know?
Listen, we're not going to shit on the ESPN deal. We're going to give those ladies their props, but there's two people that probably won't be watching those fights regularly. And we don't have to tell you who they are.
We don't have to tell you who they are.
I don't hate women's boxing, but I don't pretend to love it like some of these other people out here.
Yeah, it's just not.
Yeah, the people, you're not going to sit there and people that talk about how much they love women's boxing. There's no way they love it as much as they can't.
They're lying.
It's not even close to the men.
No, and which what's funny, man. Like I said, I could watch the UFC. I could watch girls fight there, and it's entertaining. Depending on who it is, it's entertaining.
Yeah, I find the female. I'm not a big MMA person, but I do find the female MMA fighters more entertaining to watch than the female boxers. I enjoy watching Michaela Mayer, Tasha Jonas, Katie Taylor. There's a few that I like.
Yeah, I like Katie Taylor.
Not many.
Clarissa Shields, the GOAT. Who is she fighting next?
I have no idea. She wants to fight Raleigh. She's sitting there threatening Raleigh Romero. Now she's making fun of Paulie. Like, she's sitting there calling all these guys out, knowing that these guys can't fight her and won't fight her. So please.
Yeah. Philly Drew, thank you so much. He said sanctioning bodies are killing boxing. We couldn't agree more.
I couldn't agree more with you, Philly Drew. But
he's right.
I'm being told I'm the problem by complaining about the sanctioning bodies. I never thought I'd see the day where I'd see so many people defending these sanctioning bodies.
Again, man, it's like you remember how they used to defend the promoters? The PBC, they used to defend. They used to get on that train. They used to get on the other train.
Like the sanctioning bodies. Whatever happened to the fighters? I thought everyone was supposed to put the fighters first here.
Yeah. Sanctioning bodies should have been gone a long time ago.
Yeah, I can't stand them.
Yeah,
they're a necessary evil, I guess. I mean, if we watch a sport of boxing, they're just something we have to deal with and accept for the time being.
Yeah, hopefully just for the time being.
It is what it is. It doesn't mean I have to jump up and down and celebrate them either, like some of these other people. Ooh, Undisputed. No one gave a fuck about Undisputed until Terrence Crawford, did it.
Yeah.
It was like a 12-year drought.
Yeah, and then now to do Undisputed, you're going to have a 5-belt era. You got the ring title. You got the Zuffa title. Come on, man.
Yeah. So
I got to fight 10 dudes just become Undisputed.
What's going to happen now is fighters are going to pick and choose what belt that they think is good enough for them.
Yeah.
So these belts are going to end up competing with each other. And here's the thing, too. A lot of fighters, even back in the day when there was only 3 belts, like Zab Judah, he had to vacate titles because he literally said, I can't afford the sanctioning fees.
Well, and you know what? Do you know, you remember when Klitschko was a champion?
Yeah.
And he was a heavyweight champion, and he would fight all those mandatories.
Yeah.
And how boring that was because nobody had heard of these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you got these guys blocking fights because a mandatory has to happen. There's a much better fight out there, but because a fighter has to fight as mandatory, they have to fight the mandatory, and it blocks the better fight.
Yeah.
Again, you guys, to each his own. I'm not going to tell people what to like. Right. I like competition. I like a lot of. I like Zuffa.
It drives things, man. Yeah.
I've been consistent. Even back when PBC first came out in 2015, everyone was shitting on them, saying they're trying to take over boxing. I was excited in the beginning when they were on free TV and all this and that. And then when they started with their other side of the street bullshit, I got mad at them. But then when they got the Amazon deal, I was like, okay, maybe this would be a positive. Yeah. But then when everything went to pay-per-view, I fucking hated it. Same thing with DAZN. When DAZN first came out, I loved it. Wow. Yeah. No pay-per-views.
All of a sudden they were putting stuff on pay-per-views.
Now they increased the price 350% in 7 years.
Yeah, $40 a month. Yeah, stop.
Who increases their subscription price in 7 years 350%?
It's ridiculous.
I mean, it's outrageous. And then they were doing pay-per-views on top of that. Now they're telling you, if you want, you can pay $45 a month and you can get pay-per-views in your package. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's great, but. Yeah. What you consider a pay-per-view and what I consider pay-per-view worthy are two different things.
Two different things.
And again, that app, no disrespect, I'm not being xenophobic, that app is geared more to people who live in the UK.
That's where it's from. I mean, you know what I mean?
It's not good for American fight fans, and it's not great for American fighters either.
Yeah.
Right? Especially now that you got Paramount Plus, now that you got Netflix, right? You got TF. He's fighting on Netflix pretty soon.
You got a lot more options now.
So they it is what it is.
All right. So Golden Boy Promotions and Vergil Ortiz are at a head here. They had a court case last week. This week, the judge ruled in favor of Golden Boy. The issue is now headed for arbitration, which means they're going to go on and make a deal. Meanwhile, this is beautiful. De La Hoya took to social media to trash both Vergil Ortiz and his father. So my question is, if I'm Vergil Ortiz, how am I going to work with this guy? Oscar's suing people to stay with him. He's trying to sue Canelo. He's trying to sue this guy. No TV deal. Canelo he's trashing other promoters. Yeah. He's trashing other promoters, other organizations. You got to work with this guy. That's the whole purpose of you going to arbitration, to work this thing out. And you're over there saying, you're trashing him, you're trashing his father. What are you doing? How in the world? And he signed up for till 2028, I think.
2027, I think.
Is it 27? Yeah, because it was like a 3-year deal or something stupid.
Yeah.
Really, talking about a guy shooting himself in the foot at every single turn.
And Eric, that's another thing we're going to start seeing. We're going to start seeing fighters go the free agent route or only sign for 2-fight deals, 3-fight deals, like Shakur Stevenson, right?
Oh, look at what's his name? Conor Benn just signed a 1-fight deal.
1-fight deal. Like boxers. That's how it was back in the day. Promoters used to just buy fights. They didn't buy fighters. They didn't lock fighters in for 3-4 years. Like this was a new thing. They used to do fight to fights with fighters. Like we'll get you for 2 fights. You win. We got you for the rematch. Whatever. These guys are locked in for 3-4 years. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's the thing,
man. He says, let's see here. Boxing says, honestly, I don't think Vergil wanted to fight Boots at all. No, I think they definitely wanted to fight because they went to court over it. So yeah, they definitely want to fight.
I think Vergil was convinced that the fight was worth more than what it really is. I mean, how are you going to, I know this is going to sound ridiculous, but Conor Benn's getting $15 million to fight Regis Prograis. But again, Conor Benn is coming off of the 2 Eubank fights. I mean, regardless of how good Conor Benn is, he's got a lot of buzz behind him. He's riding a wave right now in terms of popularity. And now with all the controversy going on around him with the Eddie Hearn thing.
Eddie Hearn, there's no way he could have got him that payday.
Yeah, and then the whole drug testing drama, that only made the fight bigger, in my opinion. This whole Eddie Hearn thing is just making Conor Benn more popular. Yeah. Conor Benn was never going to be the good guy, one way or the other. And he actually plays the heel pretty good. He seems like a nice guy outside of boxing, but whenever he's at that press conference table and he goes off, and he's I think he plays the heel perfectly. It is what it is. That's going to help. That's going to be part of his his marketing tool. That's going to be his marketing advantage in boxing, because he can play the heel very well.
Right.
But the thing with Vergil Ortiz and Boots Ennis, no disrespect, as good as they are, I just don't think they have the market value. They're not popular. So
it's not. It's the biggest fight for us. Like casual
fans are not going to care about that fight. No. They're not going to care about that fight. Like you got people in the UFC. And UFC fans talking about Conor Benn right now. At post-fight press conferences, they're talking about Conor Benn. They're talking about Eddie Hearn. They're talking about Zuffa Boxer now. And now, they're doing shows on CBS now, which is regular television. So Conor Benn is going to be fighting on Netflix in front of 300 million people.
Quite a few. Yeah.
So it's a whole different ball of wax what Conor Benn's doing right now, even though he's not as good as those guys.
Right.
And what they're doing. So for Rick Meridian to say we want $7 million for this fight, I don't know, man. I don't know. If you think the fight is as big as you think it is, they offered you $3 million.
Listen, it sounds like they were on the verge of getting it. You know what I mean?
They offered him $3 million, right? And they were going to give him pay-per-view upside after 200 pay-per-view buys. But then Meridian said, no, we want a flat fee of $7 million. So you by the way you're negotiating, you're telling people that you don't think the fight's going to do well on pay-per-view. If you thought the fight was going to do well on pay-per-view, then you would take the $3 million and the pay-per-view upside after 200,000 pay-per-view buys. But you don't think, apparently, by the way you're negotiating, that the fight's going to do well on pay-per-view.
Right.
So it is what it is.
Yeah. It's just not, I don't get it, man. I really don't understand it.
So it is what it is.
Floyd Mayweather is set to face now Greek kickboxer Mike Zambidis. And this fight will take place in Greece. He's scheduled to fight Mike Zambidis, who I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Apparently he's a kickboxer. He's 45, by the way. Mayweather actually has 3 fights scheduled. Mike Tyson, Zambidis, and Manny Pacquiao in September.
The Tyson fight's not happening.
I don't think it will. But my guess is the Tyson fight falls by the wayside. Nothing's been announced yet, but the fight is supposedly supposed to take place in the Congo.
What, the Tyson fight?
Yeah.
I don't think that fight. I think they're saying.
Why in the world would that take place in the Congo?
Yeah, even thinking about putting a fight in the Congo there, I don't know.
Yeah.
But they're saying
make a lot of
They're
sense.
they're saying now that they don't think that fight's going to even happen.
Yeah, no, I don't think it will either. And I don't understand why he's coming back, but hey, to each his own, I guess.
To each his own, right? He needs the money.
Yeah, that ain't no
He's
doubt,
gonna need the
man.
money. I can't find another reason for it.
Yeah. Edgar Berlanga and Chris Eubank are in talks to fight each other. Apparently, Chris Eubank wants to fight at 164 and Berlanga wants it at 168. I hope it works out. I like the fight.
Yeah. I don't understand Chris Eubank. Why doesn't he just move up to 168 and call it a day? He was killing himself to make 160. Enough with the fucking 164 bullshit. Just fight at a full-fledged super middleweight. It's only beneficial for you. It's better for you to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Does Mayweather get KO'd or before bankruptcy? I've heard rumblings. We've heard rumblings that he was set to file bankruptcy at one point. And then I don't know if he did an exhibition or whatever. I don't know. But that was some of the internal stuff coming out of there was that he was close to bankruptcy. I don't know. I don't see his finances. I'm just telling you what we've heard.
He's definitely having liquidity problems, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
If your properties are going on tax lien, then something is wrong.
Yep. That's it. Fury versus Makhmudov. The undercard is set. Tyson Fury versus Arslanbek Makhmudov. Conor Benn versus Regis Prograis. Jamie TKV versus Richard Riakporhe. And Fraser Clark versus Justice Huni. Not a bad card. Not great. Not bad. Not great.
It's not a bad card.
Okay. What's the matter with you? Mario Barrios, our favorite fighter, is moving up in weight to 154. For what?
Why?
Why, to get smacked around up there too?
Those guys are much tougher up there.
What does he think is going to happen? He's going to put on 7 pounds and all of a sudden he's going to be Superman? You know what I mean?
It's not going to happen.
Is he magically going to find some power and skill putting on weight? You know? This is a weird one. Eddie Hearn signed Tom Aspinall. This is one of the stranger signings I think I've seen. Now, Tom Aspinall is in the UFC, current UFC heavyweight champion. Eddie Hearn signed Tom Aspinall to the Matchroom Talent Agency. So it sounds like he'll be negotiating fights for Aspinall, almost like a managerial type thing. Good, bad? I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird to me.
I mean, it's a managerial contract. Eddie Hearn's very popular in the UK. His company, Matchroom, is a very big company in the UK. They do a lot of different things. Eddie Hearn, from what I hear and what he said, he used to be an agent before he became a promoter. So he's used to dealing with marketing and promoting people and trying to help people with endorsements and stuff like that, and how to increase their profile, maximize their earning potential. Yeah. So,
and he did sign with the new Matchroom Talent Agency, which would indicate to me that they're going to try to get him commercials. They're going to try to put him on
some endorsements, put him out there, put him on some open up some revenue streams for him outside of MMA.
Yeah, I think it's a good move. I always think if you're looking to become a big star, you need a talent agency.
Yeah.
You just should have one.
I'm not against the move. I think Eddie Hearn just listen. Even though he's the way he handled the Conor Benn situation, I didn't think was great. But regardless of any of that, they're good at what they do over there at Matchroom. They're a good company. They're a solid company. They're worth about $1 billion. That company's got a valued at $1 billion. When and if they sell that company one day, they're gonna do well.
Yeah, I agree. And speaking of England, I think this is Hamed. Hamed, you're live. Maybe.
Yes, guys.
How you handling?
How you been doing?
Alhamdulillah, man. Alhamdulillah, man. Inshallah. How you handling Ramadan, man? You okay?
Yeah, not too bad. But
my friend's going nuts. Like my friend goes to the office, right? And he smells the coffee.
Oh.
And he starts going nuts because he can't drink the coffee. I got to calm him down. I got to calm him down. I got to tell him it's going to be okay. He can't even drink. You can't even drink water when you're on Ramadan.
I say, can you chew gum? You can't chew gum.
You can't even jerk off when you're doing Ramadan. That's a sin.
I tell you what, Ramadan is an impressive thing. It really is. To watch what they go through for Ramadan, that's very impressive.
But it's not that long though. Like about 8-10 years ago, we were doing it for about, I think about 18, 19 hours. That's when it was a test. But even then, it depends where you live. If you live in a really hot, I would say the hot city, then I would say it's a lot tougher like then, because of the climate, and depends like what time you work and stuff like that. But yeah, not too bad. I think there's like about 10 days left. I was just gonna call him. With the Zuffa boxing thing, he's not a bad fight on later, but I don't know about what the IBF are doing now. I heard first the title. I'm hearing that it's not going to be on the line. Going forward, see if Jai Opetaia does win. How do you think, if he gets stripped of the IBF title, how do you think they can entice the other champions? Like, because I want to see Opetaia fight.
Mauricio Suleiman already said he had no problem having Jai Opetaia fight for the title. He already, as long as these guys get their sanctioning fees, they should be fine. Again, the relationship is with the fighter. It has nothing to do with the promoter. The fighter is representing your organization.
Right. You know what? He can't help what they do with the press conference. You know what I mean? He can't help there's a big Zuffa banner behind it. He can't help that. He can't. He's not in control of any of that.
You're mad because you didn't like where the IBF belt was positioned on the press conference table. I mean, it was
grow up.
It was perfectly fine. I could see it. I don't think the IBF belt was being disrespected at that press conference. So to answer your question, this was a petty move. I don't think the rest of the organization is going to do this, in my opinion.
Glanton's ranked. Glanton's also ranked, like you said, I think top 15. So they did greenlight the fight for the title. I don't think he's a bad opponent. Like if you look at Opetaia's resume, after Bradis, this I think is his best opponent. It is. I believe it is his best opponent, because if you look at Glanton's resume, he's got a win over Marcus Brown. He's only lost. I thought the only fight he's lost fair and square was to Chris Smith, who's a former champion. The other two fights, one of them was the highlight.
How do you think he did against Chris Smith? I thought he made a good account of himself in that fight. What do you think?
I thought it was competitive. Yeah,
very competitive.
I thought Chris Smith won, but I think he won like a competitive fight. Like it wasn't the one-sided
fight. He had it like
fight.
8-4, if I remember correctly.
That was right. You could, I think, even give him 5 rounds. But like going forward, if David Benavidez wants to fight or Zerdo, like how would they work that out? If he's got the Zuffa belt, like will they want to fight for the Zuffa belt?
Hamid,
more titles in.
How do they work it out when Usyk has the IBO belt or Joshua had the IBO belt? They still went ahead and sanctioned.
I know. I get that, but I'm saying, will these other promoters want to let their fighters fight?
Oh, you're saying
no, about the sanction. Yeah,
it depends. It depends. All these Turki Al-Sheikh did a smart thing. He set up an environment where if the big fights need to get made, he's the only one that will put the money up to get the big fights done. So because of Turki Al-Sheikh's involvement, he could have a lot of influence, in my opinion, what these fighters do and these promoters moving forward. That's just my opinion. I understand these are all legitimate. These are all legitimate, fair questions you're asking. But with all due respect, and I'm not getting on you, a lot of these people
sounds
out
like you
there,
are, babe.
No, I love him. He's my brother. He's my Arab brother, man. But here's the thing: a lot of these people
celebrate Ramadan. That's right. You don't celebrate Ramadan.
I'm not a religious. I'm a spiritual. I'm a spiritual person. I'm a spiritual person. So here's the thing: a lot of these people out there are acting like the sky is falling, right? And they did the same thing when PBC came in. Oh, they're trying. Every time someone new comes in, we hear the same rhetoric. Oh, they're trying to take over. They're trying to do this. They're trying to do that. I just don't think this is going to be as bad as everyone is saying it's going to be. If you are a promoter and you have good fighters and you're putting on good fights, then you're going to be fine. Just do what Dana White is doing. He's saying we're going to do what we're going to do. You guys do what you're going to do.
I get that. Look, I gotta before I go, I just gotta say a couple of stuff because regarding the fight, like if he loses the IBF title, I'm just saying, Benavidez and Zedo, it seems like they're not as reluctant to fight Opetaia at the moment. If he doesn't have the IBF title, I'm just saying that's not going to make it any easier. Because all he's got then is the ring title. Like to me, a lot of these promoters will start playing the game where they'll say we don't recognize the Zuffa title, and that's where I think it leaves a bit of a muddy water. Like, cause if you don't have the Zuffa belt, that doesn't mean you could be undisputed. Like without that, that's what I'm trying to say. So, like, I don't like what the IBF did because they did sanction this fight initially, and they did both make the weigh-in and the 10-pound rehydration weight. So for them to do that to me is kind of petty and a bad luck because I think they should have just let the fight go ahead for the title. I don't know what the point, what the thing is at the moment. I heard the title's not going to be on the line, so he could get stripped. I just think that's not going to be a good look because that'll be like the second time he's been stripped, and he's fought, I believe, like 3 or 4 Mandos already. Like, and I don't think that's going to get him any closer to getting the winner of that fight. But yeah, thanks for taking my call.
All right, Hamed, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, man. I love the fact that he stays up and listens to our show. Too. That's so great. Yeah. So great. Let's see here. Okay, so this is another interesting story here. Jake Paul's MVP signs a deal with ESPN. The deal is signed through 2028. MVP in the women's boxing found a home on ESPN. Top Rank and Golden Boy still have no TV deals. Beeb, where's Jake Paul from?
Ohio.
Titletown, right?
Yeah.
Titletown?
Jake Paul is the other guy that
gets it done.
He opened the door to Netflix too, Eric. We got it. Listen.
Put some respect on his name.
Got to put some respect on Jake Paul's name.
That's it.
Nikisa Badarian too. He's helping him out, doing a good job.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, man.
I got to give them credit over there at MVP. I can't say anything negative about them.
Let's talk about this White House card. The UFC revealed its White House card. So what is this, June 15th, I guess?
Yeah.
And it's going to be on the White House lawn, and I got a lot of, listen, this is.
Yeah, I don't know if the White House is the best place.
You know what the worst part of this is that fans can't participate.
No.
You're going to have this on the lawn with 50 of his stupid friends or cabinet or whatever he's going to do.
And they're doing it on Trump's birthday.
Oh, Jesus.
I knew you'd love that one.
Well, yeah. I could say a bunch of stuff right now. I'm not going to.
This is kind of like a lube job for,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
know what this is. This is a thank you for helping me get elected.
Right. Well, it's not even that because they're scooping the bill, you know?
Yeah.
So Ilya Taporia versus Justin Gaethje will be the main card. Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane for the co-main. Sean O'Malley versus Aman Zahabi. Mauricio Ruffy versus Michael Chandler. And Bo Nickel versus Kyle Dockhouse. Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia. That is the White House card. A lot of people thought Conor was going to be on it. A lot of people thought... what's his face? John Jones was going to be on it. John Jones was furious. He went on a big tweet storm.
There was no, bro.
He pulls out.
After I seen him hobbling around, playing flag football. There's no way I knew. I thought he was going to be on this card. There's no. He's like fucking 40 years old, bro. Like 41 years old.
He needs 2 hip replacements. He needs a hip replacement. Both hips are shot. What are you going to do? Yeah,
get mad at the UFC for that would be like fucking Daniel Cormier fucking saying he wants to be on the White House card.
Cormier got to say he's got to cut weight to get to heavyweight in the UFC.
Wait, he looks like he weighs like 300. You see him in that suit last night? He weighs like 300
pounds.
He
put on some pounds, man. Yeah, he looks like
functional. It's not a functional 300 either.
How dare you? You're talking about DC, son.
I like DC.
Put some respect on his name.
Sorry, DC.
What's wrong with you?
My bad.
Yeah, don't do it again. What's the matter with you? Alhamdulillah. 530, Robert.
Wubby.
You say Wubby?
Hello, guys. How are you?
What's up, Bobby?
What's going on?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm very happy. I finally got my Paramount Plus to work, so I'm watching the fights as we speak.
All right.
Take it easy.
Yeah, right?
Don't get too excited.
And first of all, if the IBF doesn't strip Jai Opetaia, if I'm Jai Opetaia, I give up the IBF title Because why should he deal with that kind of crap? He paid the sanction fee. He did everything he was supposed to, and then they decide they're not going to sanction. They're not going to.
He better get that sanctioning fee back too.
Yeah, I mean, and look, I agree with everybody who said we like Jai Opetaia, but that David Benavidez is going to have no problem with him, because I don't think David is going to have a problem with Zerto either.
I told you. I told
Yep.
you. Beeb doesn't want to listen.
So, but I think the 25 pounds is not going to be a big deal. I think David will be just fine. And I think he's going to get.
I'm leaning towards David, but I just got to see him first, man. I got to see, because he wasn't a huge puncher at 175, but he is a very fast, fluid guy. He's a very excellent fighter. There's no doubt about it.
Some of his power may go away because he hasn't knocked anybody out at 175. But the way he boxes and fights, he may not need to knock anybody out. I don't know.
There you go. Robert, we have a question for you from Eric Gomez. He says, are you fasting for Ramadan?
No, and if this is the same Eric Gomez that works for Golden Boy, you better get his TV deal in order.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not. Boxing 97-41. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. What is Robbie's thoughts on Trump-Iran? What?
First of all, this is not a political show, so I'm not going to go there.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just reading what they said, and they
they
put
paid
down some
for it.
cash.
They paid for it. We got to say it, as much as we don't want to.
Yeah. But anyway, no, I feel bad for Jaya. He's done everything he's supposed to do. Nobody wants to fight him, and I don't know why, because he's willing to fight anybody. But hopefully he gets this all worked out, or he just gives up the title and says the hell with it.
There you go. There you go.
Now, speaking of him, there's been talk that he's going to move up to heavyweight. How effective do you think he'll be when he makes that move?
Opetaia or Benavidez?
Opetaia.
I don't know. It depends. I mean, it depends on who he fights, how they bring him in, how they, he's a great fighter. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But it just depends. He may have some rough going there. He may not. I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends on how he's brought up.
I mean, we've seen guys his size become champion before. Holyfield, Usyk, Tyson, right?
Yep.
Michael Moore. These guys were not huge heavyweights, so.
No, they're not. And by the way, I have no issue with Alexander fighting this fight. Joshua fought Jake Paul, Tyson fought Francis Ngannou. I have no problem with Usyk doing this.
Do you have a problem with the WBC sanctioning it?
Yes, I do. That I have a problem with, but I don't have a problem with Usyk taking the fight.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Is it a fight you want to see?
I don't. No, of course not. But who else was he going to fight? I mean,
anybody with a pulse?
You've got Wilder fighting Chisora. You have Itama fighting the week before that. You have Fury fighting the big Russian. Who's Alexander going to fight? I mean, and you got Dubois fighting Wardley. So where was he going to go for a fight?
I hope
there's a whole bunch of fighters in the heavyweight division.
I hope he fights Caballal. I agree with Hamid. Caballal deserves it. Yeah.
Caballal deserves it.
I actually think that Dubois is going to beat. That's horrible. I think Dubois is going to beat Wardley, though. So that's just my opinion. You think Dubois is going to beat Wardley, Eric, or you like Wardley? I like Dubois in that fight.
Oh, you do you?
Yeah.
You're on the Dubois bandwagon now?
You've been hating Dubois ever since
I have told you about Dubois over and over, and now you're over there making fun of him, and now you're going to ride his train? No,
Robbie,
let me tell you what.
Please.
Let me tell you what. There's no room, Beeb. There's no room on the train. You have to get off the train. There's no room for you here. I'm sorry, buddy.
Thank you.
What happened?
What are you at, Jack in the Box drive-thru right now? What's going on? Thank you.
I don't know. He was like, okay, thank you. I'm like, what? What's he doing?
Get him out of here.
Maron. Let's see. And that, guys, is it. That'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on X at jhabib1. Find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporter.com, and you can find me on X at ringside73. And guys, we will see you guys next week. Go watch the fights, man. Paramount Plus.